okay, I'm working from home a lot more. You know, certain people, you know, they've got their desk, or they've been trying to, like, I've been trying to use the floor and as much as possible to work from, with a little table and a laptop. I'm at my parents' place. I've been using their fireplace as my stand-up desk. But what a lot of people have kind of been coming back to me with is like, is there a kind of proper, in inverted commas, setup? Because I feel even sometimes when I'm stood at the laptop and I'm on the fireplace and I've got my laptop up high, I feel like, are my shoulders too rounded? Am I standing with my hips too far forward or too far back? Or when I'm sat on my yoga mat on the floor and the laptop's on a little table, is my back still too crouched? Am I sitting too much to one side? Is there like is there a process to it, or is it just, you know, go with your body kind of thing?
Well, because it's an individual specific question, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because everyone has different, you know, hip to ankle ratios, or, you know, the trunk might be a different length. You know, there's different, you know. Anyway, but my kind of table setup, which my recommendation to others is, that's 14 inches from the ground to the base of the table. And then just working on like a bolster or a meditation cushion, that's a really good height in it, and I can stay upright. So if I'm kneeling, I'm upright, and also the screen level is upright. So you want to, the best you can is to have the desk in a position where your chest and your head is up, as if you were looking on the horizon, rather than down at the ground. Always think, you know, we evolved to look at the horizon, right? So think of that being the height. When it comes to the standing desk, I think what I started using was the ironing board, because the ironing board can go up and down, right? So you can lower it. So if you wanted to still have a chair set up, the chair, you know, you can still, you know, be mindful of how you're sitting, of course, but then you can then raise the ironing board up, and then you can have that at standing desk level. What's more important with standing desks is the posture of which you're standing in. So it's, you know, be mindful of where you feel your body weight is. So the importance of body weight is understanding, like, where gravity becomes tangible is where you experience your body weight. So if I put my hand on the ground right now, I experience my weight there. At the moment, it's in my bum, and I'm in like a straddle long sit. So I also experience it in my heels and my hips, right? You can't experience it anywhere else, because it's not tangible until you feel the ground, where you connect to the earth. So when you're standing, this is an opportunity from home again to kind of tune into what would be your base of support and where you recognize body weight, which would be through your feet. Make them bare feet, right? And then think about the feet like this, that your big toe, hold on, there we go. Like your big toe that's really dirty, that foot. That big toe, it's been on the heath, look. That big toe and the ball of the foot is worth 4 units of body weight, yeah?
Yeah.
The smaller toe plus the pad behind it is worth 1, the next one 1, the next one 1, the next one 1. That's 8 units of weight.
Yeah.
And then the heel is worth 4 units.
Okay.
So that's 8 units of weight in the front end of the foot and 4 units in the back. So that will give you an idea. There's 2/3 of your body weight should be in the front toe box of your foot, which, if you think about it, is the widest part of the foot, isn't it?
Yeah.
And the heel's more narrow. So that's the first position. Try and position your weight to get the 2/3 of your weight forward. And then once you're there, is to commit to the big toe and the ball of the foot, because that's still worth 4 units, whereas the smaller toes are 4 units altogether. Yeah. And then think about having soft knees and keeping your head, your chest, and your pelvis stacked. So again, it's as if you're looking at the horizon. So even if you have an ironing board set up, you might need to put like a breakfast tray or something on top of it, so it brings it up to that level.
To a height, yeah. So you want your screen, because I always try to set my screen up when I was working in an office, be it standing or sitting, so that they say your eye level is in line with the top of the screen. Is exactly. that kind of height, right?
Yeah, so again, that's your horizon. That's what you're staring directly out at, rather than down. So you're not hinging the neck down. It's anything, you're raising the chest up to meet the screen. Yeah. And then if you're typing, which I didn't really do a great deal of typing, you know, I kind of, do you know what I mean? It's much more, anyway.
Scrolling and clicking and
Clicking, you know, that kind of behavior. And the key is to relax your shoulders and relax your pecs. And just think like the wrist and the hands are floppy like that. Yeah. So if you're on the keyboard, this stuff just sits there. So like have a practice at this. Like you've got your elbows in your hands. You should be able to just completely let your hands go loose.
Yeah. So yeah, like kind of like T-Rex arms, like short
T-Rex
like
arms, yeah, man.
hands up.
Exactly that.
It's a good way
Like
to
those
put it.
deodorant adverts years ago. Do you remember them?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
yeah, that kind of behaviour. Yeah,
Also,
that's what
and
I'd go.
is that similar then to sitting on the ground? Because I think the standing position for me, I've found the most, I'd say the most comfortable in terms of like standing up and working. I can do that, and all day. I know you're not necessarily supposed to, just in general. Like I feel like I could, right? And then when I move to the ground, I just feel like I can't find a position. I feel like whatever position I sit in, it doesn't feel like, I might be cross-legged, or I might be in the position you're in with your legs out straight, or kneeling, or on one knee, or with my legs to the side, or, I just can never find like, I never feel like it's a comfortable position, and I'm a bit more, slouchy, or a bit more weight to one
Well,
side, all that sort of stuff.
but at this stage, you also might find there's the how much mobility, flexibility, and strength. It's kind of that trade-off, isn't it?
Mm.
So if I was to sit like I'm sitting now and cross-legged, I can be really upright in my spine. I'm looking directly at the camera, right? So if this is my screen, this is a perfect height again. And to go into it, I just lean forward rather than bow down. If I'm bowing down, I'm looking at the keys, and I'll be like this. So that's I'm sitting in like a cross. I'm almost like a lotus kind of position, right?
Yeah.
Then I can go into a straddle sit. Now, what will happen is if I don't have enough length in my hamstrings and my legs are straight out in front of me, I start to lose the spine. So then what you'd have to do is just put a cushion, a bolster underneath you to prop you up, to compensate for the fact your hamstrings aren't long enough that is then compromising your posture.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one way. You could then say, well, okay, I just don't have the strength to hold the position. Well, go up against the wall in a long sit position and set your desk up around you. Kneeling, again, it will get to the point where it is uncomfortable. I can kneel for like 30 minutes now.
Wow.
When I first started looking at kneeling practices, in 5 minutes, my feet would go numb. You know? And it'd be too painful. So you have to play with the edges of discomfort. Yeah. To start with. And if you always come out the pain cave the moment you've entered it, you're only ever going to get to the same part of the pain cave. You'll never into the back of the cave, and you'll never know if the cave goes on to another amazing, some light at the back of the cave through another cave. Do you know what I mean? You have to go through the process. But the beauty of the ground sitting postures versus sitting in a chair is sitting in a chair, you don't get any cues. You don't get signals. Whereas the ground, you'll get a signal to say, come on, Alex, it's a bit uncomfortable now, mate. Yeah, and then you have to go, I totally agree, but I just want to spend a bit longer here. Otherwise, we're never going to get past 4 minutes. Yeah. That kind of internal dialogue. And then you're away. It will increase. But then keep changing from position to position. Don't stagnate in one. You have to keep moving, keep flowing. Yeah, find a position that works, right? Because I like I said, I've been moving from loads of different positions to like being on my belly to like almost at times completely on my sides to like now I'm sat on my bed, which I know is not ideal. Tony, don't have a go at me, please. Judging you there, man, judging you. But I'm kind of like sat with like my left leg out in front, but my shin at like a right angle, and then my right leg's kind of off the other side. And it's comfortable for now, but then like you said, in a few minutes I might need to like actually adjust. And I've kind of been, like you said, listening to the cues, but trying not to move out of position when I feel I'm uncomfortable, and try to sit in a position a bit longer. Even if I know if I did this position, but on the other side with my right leg in front, I'm going to feel I can't do it for as long or whatever. So is there an element of like listening to your body and things like, if you're standing for too long, getting like fatigue in your back, or fatigue in your legs from sitting cross-legged, or like my knees, for example, are shot from various football injuries and stuff. So like the kneeling positions and even cross-legged positions sometimes can aggravate my knee. Is there an element then of you have to also listen to your body and understand like when you might be feeling a different kind of sensation? Man, I think you always have to listen to your body, right? I think the problem arises through simply not listening to the body. But also understanding the mind and the body is one thing, right? It's not like we're having these separate experiences. It's the one thing. So again, you could have so much going on. It's the same conversation as, you know, it's okay at the moment not to be okay.
Mm.
And it could be one day, oh, this isn't great, I'm not feeling it. So just change, go and do something else. Go and change the experience. Again, you touched on refinement. The whole point in the human experience is we're here to refine the human experience, and refine it, and then eventually hand it over. You know, we're custodians, we hand it over to the next generations to then further refine the experience. That's the point of it. So if it gets to the point where it's too uncomfortable, do you want to be handing that over? No, think it that way. How do I refine it? Right, I might have to move. Today it's not working. It's okay not to be okay. Let me move on. It might be standing. If you're standing for a period of time, yeah, Tony, tuning into my feet, 4-4-4 is great, but I've got this I have to really just knuckle down and get this piece done today.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes we have to prioritize getting the piece done. So mix up the standing. If you find that it's easier today to be in a chair, go to the chair, but remember that the ground is also there to offset your chair sitting. It's also chair care. So you have 5 hours there, remember, that you might be working, 8 hours that you're sleeping. We still discovered we have all those wonderful hours there that you could possibly be using to unravel the fact that you are sitting. You know, there's no judgment here for sitting in a chair. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
We all have to do it. So if it's too uncomfortable and you're not getting the stuff done you need to, take it back to the more familiar circumstances. But always remember that no matter the social norm, we have to keep checking in with natural norms, right? We have to. So again, like this whole experience that we have right now, you know, it doesn't matter what the social norm is right now. You know, it doesn't matter what is going on in the world right now. We still have to knuckle down and start understanding our natural norms. You know, the chair is just an example of it. Yeah, it's not great to sit for hours upon end, but I'd still have this in place and I can still do these protocols that will help unravel it. And then mix it up. Again, just take some of the work experience to standing, some in a chair, some on the ground, until eventually, as I say, I think what you'll find is the groundwork, because it's that blend, it's a tricky blend of mobility, flexibility, and strength. You know, you might not have, so let's say, sorry, the skill is, Alex, in this case, to sit in a squat. So there's the physiology, the technique, and the mind. 3 pillars to the skill. You can put anything in there, running, whatever you want to put in there, childbirth, right? Anything. There's a skill. And then underneath that is the technique. So if I'm only just learning the technique, firstly, my physiology isn't going to be strong enough or mobile enough at this stage. Therefore, my mind is going to keep getting a signal for me to change, you know? So then I have to go, okay, let me just stay in it a bit longer to extend the mind's perception of what I'm doing, but also to strengthen and mobilize the physiology to cope with the technique of the squat. Yeah. And then add other influences in, like the other ground positions, that will help enhance the technique, the physiology, and the mind. And that's the way we can make progress with it. Yeah.
Yeah. I think, again, like you said, that goes for anything, right? I'm just thinking now, like, there's so many just things popping in my head. I'm like, wow, yeah, if you just, everything's a fine balance of everything, you know?
Yeah.
It's